Hey, welcome to my journey and welcome back after a couple weeks hiatus, I guess you could say. Y'all know that I took a little break. Um, the best way I can think, I was thinking about it, is uh, energy relapse after surgery. That's the best way I can think to describe it. I think I jumped back into filming maybe a little bit more quickly than I probably should have. I probably should have let myself rest a little bit more, kind of recuperate a little bit more. And I think I just had a hit to my energy. And I still don't have it back by any means, but I'm doing a lot better. And the reception was yesterday. So this morning I've been cleaning up from that. There's always a lot of stuff to do after a big old shindig. Holly, bless her heart, I don't know what I'd do without her. She did all the cleanup that she could do with the food and condensing and all this and that to make it just easy on me to get up and do what I needed to do this morning, stuff that she couldn't do. And so, I don't know what I'd have done without her. I don't know what I'd have done without her fixing this party up. I'll just tell you, it turned out so pretty. We loved it. We loved it. We were so worried because we both wanted it to be just right. I mean, hopefully this is going to be their one and only marriage. You know what I mean? You don't want to say, I mean, that sounds terrible, like we hopefully, but you know what I mean. And we want it to be special, you know, I think we did. They both enjoyed it. Their family, her family, RJ's family, everybody seemed to enjoy it. Everybody got along. Her family came down. They're probably 2.5, 3-ish hours away, something like that. And so they come down, and then all my family's right here. So they came. We had about we had a little over 20. I know we had a little over 20. So yeah, we had a good crowd. And I'll tell you what, Sebastian and Jacob now, they're taking back Sebastian today. He didn't get to spend the night with me. He stayed with his daddy because he was only there a few days, so I didn't, push the subject. If he wanted to come to my house, he would come to my house. But I know he's missed his daddy so much that I was not going to intrude and say, hey, you want to spend the night with me? Because, of course, he would. He wouldn't say no. I know he wouldn't say no. But then I didn't want to take away something from RJ. They're doing their little thing over there. But they're on their way to take him back today. He's got to go back to school tomorrow. Still don't know when he'll come down for Christmas. But him and Jacob played. David had blowed leaves, and so the front ditch and all was full of leaves because we got that giant water oak. And I'm tell you what, she sheds, and she's not through yet. But what he got out there is, oh my gosh. Well, they got out there and they started playing in the leaves. It was so deep, Jacob almost swallowed up in them. When Jacob came in the house, he had been eating a cupcake, and her grandma made cupcakes, and some of them had some red frosting, and he came in, a complete ring around his mouth of red. Dirt where he'd been in the leaves, dirt just smudged his whole face. His hair was his clothes were just filthy dirty. His little feet were wet from being in the Holly gave him a bath and changed his clothes over here before she took him home, because I'm going to tell you what, he was filthy. Sebastian, he had his jeans rolled up. The cuffs of his jeans were just full of leaves. I'm going to tell you what, my house is leaves from front to back. I'm not going to vacuum until I get through doing everything I got to do. I got everything washed. That had to be washed. Thank goodness a lot of it could go in the dishwasher. And David, he unloaded that for me while he was over there when he got through cleaning up his breakfast. He unloaded the dishwasher for me, so that helped. And then some of it goes back with Holly, and some of it comes in here in this closet, and some of it goes in my little thing in there. And then the stuff that I bought for the shower, the way we decorated is we put everything out, because I bought a little bit of everything over the couple months when we found out it was going to happen, because I didn't know what we could use. And so we pulled everything out, and we just we first of all we figured out what foods we had and what containers, platters, serving dishes needed to be for that food, and then we placed them around the table so we knew where the food would go. Then we got out all the decorations, flowers, lights, all the stuff, the mushroom, everything. And we edited. We would say, well, that looks good. Well, that don't look good. Okay, we'll put that back. No, take that away. We'll put that over there. No, I don't like that at all. So some things we used, and some things we're just like, oh, well, it sounded good, but it don't really go. And so we think we got it edited down to where it made a really pretty party. I'll try to remember to throw in some pictures at the end of the food. But everybody got along, meeting her family. That's the first time that all of us had met. And so that was nice. And she looked beautiful. She had her wedding gown on, and she looked beautiful. And RJ, he dressed up. They looked very handsome together. And I think it turned out to be a really, really nice wedding reception for them. Now, they will be getting married Tuesday because I think I told you. I'll tell you again. The county where they're going to get married, it's the county they live in, so they went up there. They were going to get married there. Said they're the only county around here, anywhere close, that was doing marriages the week of Thanksgiving. So they got booked up. They had no appointments. So the first one they could get was Tuesday. And we had already had the party planned, so we didn't change it, We just said, well, we can party first and then they can get married, So that's what's going to happen. We'll go to the courthouse, to the magistrate on Tuesday and see them get married. RJ's like, well, it's not going to be no big thing. I'm like, yeah, I know. Holly's like, yeah, I know. We did it. I'm like, yeah, I know. We did too. So we ain't got no problems in this family getting married in front of the magistrate. It don't make no difference to us. You just as married as the next person. You got them papers just like the next person. So, yeah. But I'm trying to think, what have I been doing over these 2 weeks? A whole lot of nothing. I can tell you that. Now, I'm trying to think of all the things I need to do this week, because cleaning up from the party today is job one, and getting my house back into order that way. And then I've just got a couple fall decorations I put out just to, have for the party. I've already got those put up. And I'm only going to put out a couple little things for Christmas. I'm going to put up my Christmas tree, and I'm going to do the vintage Christmas tree. I bought a new Christmas tree, one of the slim, because I wanted a smaller one. And it's I don't know if y'all remember, back in the summertime, I'm pretty sure I know it was the summertime, early or spring. Maybe it was the spring. She had a box, them copy paper boxes. She had a box just full of just a jumbled up mess of old ornaments. And I said, well, what would you charge me for the whole box? And she said $5. I said, I'll take it, because I said, I'm going to make a vintage Christmas tree out of whatever is in this box. Well, I finally went through that box, and there's some pretty stuff in there. There's some odd stuff in there, things I would never ever buy for a Christmas tree, like something with a cowboy hat or something on it. I don't care if it's going on my tree. So I want to try to go back to Wanda's this week to see if I can find any more like vintage Christmas balls or something to fill in, because there's not a whole lot of ornaments, and the tree's probably gonna look sparse. But that I don't care. That's just less I got to take down. But the whole thing was to see what the vintage Christmas tree would look like, kind of take you back to how you decorated, back in the day. I'm excited about it. It's not gonna be a gorgeous Christmas tree. David said I need to get tinsel. I'm like, no. Now, we used tinsel growing up. Did y'all We love tinsel, but you can't hardly get that stuff out of trees. I ain't starting it. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I ain't doing it. So I'm going to put that tree up, and then I'm going to decorate my little skinny Christmas tree I keep over there in the dining area as my kitchen tree. One of the ornaments that I'm putting on it I made. I got a video coming up for one day of Vlogmas. I'm going to do a day one Vlogmas video, and we'll talk more about what's going to happen over that. We'll talk about it on that video. We won't talk about it here and there. So then I got to do that. I want to try to plan out some meals, and this time I'm not going to have a freezer full of meals. Boy, we have enjoyed those. I think I've got 2 things left, just 2. And that's another thing. Now that I got the appetizers out of there for the party, I can go down there and take a good inventory and reorganize and make sure I know what I've got in there. So when I buy stuff, I can start with a good inventory. I inventoried my cabinet a while back. I think it's still good. I think it's still good. But my freezer has been just a mess. I mean, I think my inventory is good, but I've thrown some new stuff in. Like me and Holly went to Trader Joe's to get some stuff for the party. She made a little charcuterie board. It was so pretty. She did such a good job on it. She really did. And I picked up some frozen things from there to make meals, because this time, I mean, I could have cooked meals and frozen half like I did for the first surgery, but I've not had the energy. I've just not had the energy, y'all. I'm telling you, I have been beat down. And I'm fixing to do it a week from 2 days ago. Next Friday. Yes. So I'm afraid everything I've got to try to get done this week, I'm going to be tired. But, I mean, I got things I got to do before I'm laid up, and I can't do them. So I want to try to put together some meals. But these meals are going to be like shortcuts from the store. Like my copycat KFC bowl. That's from the store. You get pre-made mashed potatoes, or those steaming mashed, what I didn't know they still made, and apparently they do. I love those things. They're just little cubes of mashed potatoes, and you pop them in the microwave and steam them and stir them up, and there you go. You got mashed taters, and they're good. They're good mashed taters. And so you use that. You use your frozen chicken nuggets, which I like that real good chicken, the low-carb chicken. Oh, it's very good. Use that, can of corn, jar of gravy. That's a quick meal, something I can do that doesn't require me to stand over the stove. And it is not as cheap as cooking from scratch, but it's cheaper than eating out. And I dare say it's better for you than eating out if you're going to eat out fast food, which that'd probably be most of what we'd be eating out. I mean, we don't have much else around here. We really don't. We got one place where you can get a plate lunch, but they close at like 2 o'clock. Well, my Lord, we eat supper at 7 o'clock. So, speaking of, David's going to take the week off. He'll come in Thursday morning, and he won't go to work Thursday night, because I won't know until Thursday what time I need to be there Friday. But no matter what time I need to be there, he couldn't be guaranteed to be home in time to get me there. So he's taking Thursday night off too. And then he's taking off the next week. Now that would run him 1 or 2 days, maybe 1 day of not having vacation. So since I'm having it Friday, he will be here Saturday and Sunday. He don't work those days anyway. And then if I don't need him that very last day, he gets Friday off, I think, for New Year's Day. So even he has to go back to work 1 day, I think I'll be fine. But that first week, I rely on first 2 weeks, really. I rely on him heavily to get my food, get my ice packs, anything that I might need. I rely on him heavily. And so, anyway, was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying, but anyway, he's gonna take the week off. And what even was I saying, y'all? um. Oh well. Anyway, I want to do that, and then I want to get my Christmas lights put up on the porch. Cause even though I'm not doing big decorations in the house, I gotta have my Christmas lights out on the porch. I mean, I just have to. I love Christmas lights, and that's as far as we go, is wrapping it all around the porch railing. So I told David we'll do that Thursday when he comes in, because then he won't have to worry about going to bed, and we won't have to start as soon as he walks in the door, so he can get it done and then have time to do whatever he needs to do before he goes to bed. He won't have to. I said, but you mark it down. You are written in for Thursday. You are mine Thursday. Write it down. Don't plan nothing else until I get my Christmas lights up. So he knows. So I want to do that, and I really wanted to film. Well, we'll talk about Vlogmas on the Vlogmas video. Slurpy Slurperson. Oh, wasn't that sad about Matthew Perry? Oh, that was so sad. It's hard watching Friends and knowing that he's passed away. It's just, it don't even seem real. I tell you, that's a shame. He went through a lot. He went through a lot and tried to kick the habit of his problems, and he did so well. And then I don't know what happened. I don't need to know. I just know it's a tragedy that he passed away the way he did at like 54. It's a shame. But that Slurpy Slurperson made me think of that, because that's how they talk about people, you know. And I need to make my ice packs. It's like a 10-to-1 ratio, 10 parts water to 1 part rubbing alcohol. And so I do like half of that per bag. And it doesn't freeze into a solid block. It freezes, but it's still slushy because the alcohol don't freeze. So it freezes slushy. Some parts of it will get kind of hard. I have not perfected the recipe, but I have to put in 2 bags, because sometimes that first bag will leak on you. So it's nice to have it into a second bag. Oh, I hope I got bags. I think I do. So I'm gonna have that. I got to get my walker out, because we got to put it in the trunk, so when I get home I can get up the ramp in the back. So we'll need to get that out. I got to clean up them toys in there. Ooh, the toys in that toy room are a ramsack where they were in there playing yesterday. So I got to do that. Listen, how y'all lose something that y'all know should be in plain sight, and it's this big, and it's a lid to a plastic container. You have both containers together. You have one lid. The other lid is completely missing in action. Can't find it anywhere. It is driving me insane. And I told David the bad part is I can't even remember what was in them and where I moved them from for them to be empty. I don't even remember what was in them. I don't. So I don't know where the lid is. I don't know if I had them out in the big room and I had stuff in them and I brought it up here. I don't know. It's pitiful. So, I'm trying to think of anything else. Ain't nothing going on. They said ain't nothing going on. I need to go to the Dollar Tree. I got some things I need to buy up before I can't get out, because, you know, it's a minimum 2 weeks before I can get out. And then, like I did the last time when Holly took me for my 2-week checkup, she stopped me by so I could go to the Dollar Tree. I probably should have come on home, but I walked around the Dollar Tree. We didn't walk around the whole thing, you know, taking our time. We had Jacob, and Jacob gets antsy. We'll say that, antsy. But I do have some things I need to get from there. I would really like to finish up my shopping for Sebastian, but I can't I can't get a word of what they're going to buy. He's told me what's on his list, so I know what I can buy, but I don't know what they're going to buy. I don't want to buy the same thing. So, I don't know. I got, Lord have mercy, I got everything I'm going to get for Jacob. I keep seeing stuff, and the problem is, see, I keep a book. That's what I was going to tell you. I was going to warn you up front, y'all got bedhead today. Because I woke up, I got my bed clothes on. I didn't take no shower. I did not feel like it. I'm just like, I'm going to get up. I'm going to just do what I got to do. I'm still clean from yesterday. It ain't like I've been rolling in the mud like the youngins. But I just left my head. See all that? Because I wear a CPAP machine. So this is really good. Normally it's like, woo, way all up the top. But I thought, you know what? Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. If you do, y'all watching the wrong channel because y'all subject to see whatever up in here. But, I was supposed to say, what was I saying? But I remember this time, I forget to write something down because I'm keeping a notebook and everybody's got a page. So when I buy them something, I write it down and I see how much it costs because everybody, except for the grandbabies, get more. But all the adults get the same amount. Whatever it is, it don't matter. One thing, 100 things. Everybody gets the same amount of money spent on them. Well, the grandkids do too. They get more, but they get the same amount as each other. Well, I bought Jacob stuff, and then I bought some stuff, and I forgot to write some stuff down. Then I forgot to write some other stuff down. So I didn't have a budget, but I had a number in my mind. I crushed that number. So now I got to spend that much on Sebastian. So he might get because see, we don't live around him. It sounds impersonal, but we don't live around him, so we don't really know everything about him. We just don't. I mean, we don't. So I thought maybe I could get him like a little Visa card or something, and him and RJ could go shopping while he's down here, and then he could pick out stuff he wanted. You know what I mean? He could take him to the game store or the Walmarts or wherever. I thought, he might enjoy that instead of sending it to him up there and not knowing what would happen to it. And I'm not trying to make an accusation. I'm just saying, not knowing what would happen to it, I would feel better about him shopping for it and getting his goodies down here for what he wants. And I got just about everything else. Almost. My brother, I'm trying to get something out of Mama. She ain't told me. So I'm not quite sure what to get him. And I'm sitting here thinking, running through my mind, I got to finish buying Dirty Santa gifts. I got to buy that. Oh, I got to buy, oh my gosh, I got to go to the Dollar Tree for real. I'm going to end up spending a cow's worth of money. I got to get all my saran wrap game stuff. How are we supposed to play this? And I got to get it bought up. Yeah, I'm not going to bank on the fact that, okay, in 2 weeks, I'm going to feel good. I'm not going to be able to drive in 2 weeks. Okay, so then 3 weeks. Guess what? That gives me 1 week until Christmas. And then I can't push myself that much because that's what I did last time. And then I ended up paying for it and having to walk away from YouTube for a couple weeks. So, and stuff around the house, it's just, I ain't felt like doing nothing. Y'all, I have just felt terrible. I'm just in my back. I hope y'all pray that when this other knee gets done, it evens out what this knee, the change in my gait from this knee getting straightened out has put a mess on my back. Oh my gosh. It already needs surgery, right? Well, now it's added to it to where it's a constant nagging. I'm hoping that this knee, when it gets straightened out, this is my terrible knee. Well, they're both terrible. This is my terriblest. that it like maybe it straightens up and then evens out my back pain. Because even with these two good knees, if my back keeps on like it is, I'm gonna be walking hunched over, and I ain't gonna get nothing done. If my knees will get me there, if my back won't hold me up, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, we got to get David's wrist work done. And he's like, well, we got to get the garden done. I'm like, I know, honey, but so I guarantee you, I don't even have to guarantee you. I can promise you, he won't get it done until after garden planted. I guarantee you he won't. Oh, guess what? He bought me, I guess it would be our Christmas gift to us. He bought me, the digital pressure canners that Joan uses. He bought me 2 of those. Well, he knew Joan had 2 of them, and they had went on. She sent me a link where they had went on sale, and then I had a coupon, and he goes, well, I said, I want to get it this winter, because when you come to the springtime, they're either going to be too expensive or they're going to be, not available, because they're going to be gone, because people are going to be like, oh, I need a pressure canner. And so he's like, okay, we'll get it. And he goes, I've been thinking. He goes, what if you're going to wish you had 2 like Joan? I said, well, I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. He goes, I'm just afraid with a bigger garden as you're wanting. I said, well, we got 3 families. He said that you might wish you had 2. I said, well, I'll leave that up to you. He said, yeah, go on, get 2. Listen, we got them from Wayfair, and they were here in 2 days. Those are the biggest boxes. Oh my gosh. I need 2 rolling carts to put those things on, to roll them in and out of my kitchen. I don't know how I get it up the bump from the big room to the kitchen, but oh my gosh. I know there's a lot of styrofoam around it, but woo! And I don't have electricity on my island, so I'm either going to have to set them on my counter, or I'm going to have to get a big heavy-duty drop cord and run it over to the island and run them over there, which is probably what I'll do. I figure I'll read about it in the book just to make sure they're not going to cut the breaker off or something like that. But I was excited about that, because I'm telling you, I don't like frozen green beans. I just don't like frozen green beans. So I want my green beans canned. And as many green beans as we're going to plant, we're going to have green beans. I just guarantee you. And I like having the option of, if I don't want to freeze something that needs to be pressure canned, that I can can it. I like the option of knowing that it don't have to go in the freezer in case the freezer's getting full. You know what I mean? Or you can pressure can beans and peas, and we will be planting lots of those because we love our beans. And you can pressure can those, so then they're ready to just heat and eat like you get them from the store in the can, So I can do. That's how my mom used to always do their October beans. Delicious. Oh my gosh, delicious. I can still see them big jars of October beans. That's good stuff right there. So I am ready. David told me, he said, well, I hope you know they're going to be helping you. I said, well, I done told them everybody's working this garden. He said, I mean, your can and everything. He said, I'm not letting you do it yourself. He said, I'll make somebody mad. Yes, he did. I said, well, RJ's already said he wants to learn to can. And Holly, she's all about wanting to do this kind of stuff. And I told Holly we was talking about it yesterday, as a matter of fact, about the garden, and or Friday. I said, yes. I said, and everybody is working it. She said, I told Nathan, if you're eating from this garden, you're working in this garden. I said, you go, girl. That's right. If you're going to be eating the food, then you need to be working in the garden. Listen, my mama, bless her heart, she worked her fingers to the bone. I mean, worked her fingers to the bone. She had neighbors back when I was growing up. She'd be sitting out there under the shade trees. That's where we'd sit, and we'd shuck corn and shell peas and all that. So that's where we'd sit and do it, up under the shade trees. At the end of her house had a little covered area before you got to the door, and then the driveway. but the roots of the trees, she had a bunch of trees all around, kind of come up, and so you didn't park all the way up there. She had chairs and stuff sitting out there. That's where you'd sit and do your garden work. And her neighbor on the side of, she had a fence in between, a little chain link fence, and they'd come over there. She said they just laugh at me, and they weren't mean, but they were always commenting about, why you work so hard when you just go to the store? Why you always working so hard doing all that garden stuff? She said, but when it come winter time, who come up here asking me for corn or peas or okra? The same ones that picked on her for working like she worked. So, we shall be working hard like Mama did. Holly said, that's what I want. I want us to sit out under my shade trees and shell peas and snap beans. I'm like, we're going to, girl. We're going to. We are going to. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've done since I've been away. No, boring as all get out. Boring. I declare. I've been going to PT. I've been going to PT. Ooh, that one girl, she put a hurting on me. She works me. If I don't walk out of there jelly-legged, I ain't done my job. She said I was doing something the other day. She goes, well, how'd that feel? I said, well, it's pretty difficult. She goes, that's the word I wanted to hear, difficult. She said, where you feel it? Okay, if you don't feel it, then we're not doing something right. We got to change it up. So she wants to know where you feel it in your leg or your knee. And so we've been working hard. I'm going to tell you what, it is amazing to me what I'm having to relearn to do. Who would have thunk it? Not me. They got a wobble board that you have to, it's a board on a little thing that goes like that. So you have to go sideways, and then you have to go front and back. And I was doing front and back. You have to steady yourself on it, right? So they have this big, some kind of workout machine, but it's got two arms, and they set you in between there, so if you need to grab onto something, you can grab onto something so you won't fall. And so she said, okay, get on there. Well, she was to my back, and I didn't know what she was doing. The next thing I know, she stomped her foot down on that board, and I let out a scream, and she goes, okay, now we've got to talk about this. There should be a level of trust that you know I'm not going to let you fall. I'm like, I didn't know you was going to do that. So she was putting an obstacle to make me catch my balance. So she kept, every now and then she would hit that board and take me off, make me, get back in my balance, because your brain and your leg has got to get back into sync with each other. So she tells me, she's good too. She tells me what muscles I'm working, what's the science behind why that muscle now has to be retrained. She's good about telling me all that stuff. She's real good about telling me. She's my favorite. There's 3 of them in there. She's definitely my favorite. I've seen her the most, and she's my favorite. I've seen all of them, but she definitely is my favorite. I go 2 more times. I go Monday and Wednesday, and surgery Friday. Wednesday, the surgeon, he's got 2 offices he works out of, but since I'm doing PT there, it's right down the hall from his office. And so I see him first for my follow-up, my 2-month follow-up on my right knee. And then I go straight from there down to my last PT. So she said, you tell them when you get there, you've got PT down the hall, so they need to get on with it. I said, I will, I'll tell them. But I'm just thankful that I have a surgeon who's willing to take a chance on me, because apparently, as noticed by his colleague of whoever, that he didn't normally work on people of my size. I appreciate and am so thankful that he has taken a chance on me to give me the life I have been missing for years. I am thankful to have found this man. I am so blessed to have found this man. It's just not even funny. So I'm just very thankful for that. All right, well, I guess I'll wrap it up. I just want to come on here and say hey, and I just want to say thank y'all for understanding that I had to take some time for myself, and that don't mean that I'm back full time with a video every day. I'll be getting myself ready this week, so I don't know what I'll have to film. I wanted to film ahead some stuff, and I don't know if that's going to happen. I have a couple things before I took my break. We'll see. We'll see. But thank y'all for standing by me and waiting on me to get through with my downtime, my relaxation, my recuperation, my refreshing, all of that. I appreciate y'all waiting on me and being so kind and all the kind words that you leave me, and when you message me and stuff, and on my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, come join it. It's down in the description box below. It's not very active, but I post stuff in there that I might not post on this video. So, oh, okay. It says CVS, my package has been delivered. Honey, that thing was delivered yesterday. Y'all just now knowing that. CVS a little behind, ain't they? So, all right, well, that's all. Thank y'all. I love you, and I will see you when I see you.